Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Fox 10, your resource for Marist sports. This is Yvette Signori alongside Maria Quiroz.
Today, in our show, we have women lacrosse games, women water polo, and men's lacrosse first MAC victory. The Marist women lacrosse team received Vermont in the early season. Haley Wagner ranked second all-time with 198 draw controls, started doing what she knows best, giving the ball to her team. On the first half, 20 minutes to go, Wagner in the penalty spot. And there she goes, Marist scores 1-0. But Vermont had an answer. Mackenzie Bowles scores, assisted by Alexi Bernier. Minutes later, the Catamount's in the penalty spot, and Elise Cohier scores her goal. But no so fast. It is draw control, and you know what it means. The Red Foxes have the best. Wagner it is. In the 7th minute, it is Morgan Jacobs who tied the game 2-2. At the end of the half, Marist took the lead 9-2. In the second half, the Catamounts defense acted out of frustration doing penalties all over the place. Marist wins 15-6. Hat-tricks from Wagner, Jacobs, and Loren Massa. We leave the field to jump into the water with the Marist women water polo. The Red Foxes received Hardwick in the Marist Invitational event. The Hawks, with a power play, opened the scoring board. It is Lina Hodatochka who scores. LJ Edward passes to Sofia Polak, and then she scores. The Hawks 2 over the Red Foxes. 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Marist won't give up. Anise Mathels, and she scores. But here come the Red Foxes again. Grace Dorlfield, our hands on her, but still scores for the tie. The Hawks go on the 7-0 run to finish the period 9-2. The Marist coach, Chris Vidal, tried to motivate his girls for an epic comeback. In the second period, Charlotte smashed the net. Hardwick is on fire. Diana Carvalho in the penalty spot, and she scores points for the Foxes. Jessica Castro bangs the crossbar. Hardwick passes over Marist 17-9. Marist tried, but still wasn't enough.
It's been a bumpy start for the men's lacrosse team this season, but this past weekend, the Foxes were able to secure their first MAC win against the Manhattan Jaspers. Despite the Jaspers getting on the board first, Marist was able to respond as Gannon Morrison won the following faceoff and found the net, and again 5 minutes later. In the second quarter, the Red Foxes kept the power surging as Thomas Rago and Kyle Quinn tallied in their marks to make the Foxes lead 4-2 into the half. The other side of the ball in the second quarter was on fire as well, as the Foxes were able to limit the Jaspers' abilities. Much of this can be attributed to number 34 goalie Brian Corrigan, who Saturday made his 500th career save, and in the game matched a season high of 17 saves. After the game, Corrigan heaped nothing but praise for his squad, as well as Coach Keegan Wilkinson.
Offensively, they were switching back from man to zone, so we were just making sure we were ready for both. And we knew that Manhattan was a very zone regiment team, so if we find the opening spots and find the feeds, we were gonna finish in the back of the net.
Unbelievable team win. I'm really proud of the guys coming out and playing like a team. Being disciplined for the majority of the game was really important.
Moving on to the women's side, the lacrosse team dominated the field last week against the Binghamton Bearcats in our Fox 10. Mahalik scored a career high of 7 and Mazza added 5 of her own. It was back and forth battle between the teams, Binghamton scoring first, then of course Marist numbers 16 and 14 answered back-to-back goals. Binghamton evened the score a minute later, but after that, it was Marist that went into overdrive to set the tone and scored 5 unanswered goals. Marist wins 18-8.
Thank you for joining us today in the Fox 10. I'm Maria Quiroz, alongside with Yvette Signori. See you tomorrow.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kyle Hamrick alongside Connor Kamchick, and welcome to the Foxtrot, your source for Marist sports. Today, we take a look at the water polo team, an exhibition match for Marist rugby, women's hoops, and the women's lacrosse team at Yale.
This past weekend, Marist women's water polo traveled to New Rochelle, New York to play a MAC conference game against the Villanova Wildcats early Sunday morning. The Red Foxes are in week 2 of MAC play and are looking for their 6th conference win of the year. Picking up the play in the second half in under a minute was a Wildcats power play goal by Cran to tie the game up by 3. Marist answered just under a minute later when Carabello put home her second goal of the morning. Red Foxes 4, Wildcats 3. But the Red Fox lead didn't last long as Villanova had another answer and showed good ball movement with a sweet dish and tip scored by junior Katie French. The game knotted up at 4. Castro netted her second goal of the game, but again, quick to answer was the Wildcats to tie the game up at 5 with 52 seconds left of the period. The two teams entered the final period with a tight game on their hand when a late goal in the fourth period gave Marist a 6-5 lead over Villanova. Villanova looked to answer, but the MAC Defensive Player of the Week, goalie Jessica Hermosello, had to save to hold the ball for the final seconds. Marist wins 6-5.
We go north from the water polo pool at Villanova to Reese Stadium in New Haven, Connecticut to take a look at the Marist women's lacrosse team who took on a highly competitive Ivy League opponent, the 6-3 Yale Bulldogs. Coming off of 2 convincing wins and looking to keep their momentum heading into MAC play, the Red Foxes look to step up their game to take down the Bulldogs. Marist had the tall task of stopping Yale's top point scorer, Emily Granger, but Marist was locking her up early with this quick reaction save from goalkeeper Delaney Galvin. Junior captain Haley Wagner would get on the board first for the Red Foxes, hitting the bottom corner on Marist's first possession of the game. The two teams would then go back and forth to tie it up at 2 apiece before the Red Foxes offense took hold and went on a 6-0 run, highlighted by this stinger by Camille Renaud. At half, Marist would be up 9-4. Yale came out with a vengeance in the second half, scoring 2 goals in the first 90 seconds to cut Marist's lead down 9-6. With 12 minutes left, the Bulldogs went on a 4-0 run to take their first lead of the game at 12-11. But here comes Lauren Mazza in the Red Foxes. She pins the top right corner, drops the stick to tie it up at 12. Marist started the following possession a woman down because of illegal substitution, but held strong until Yale finally found the back of the net to make it 13-12 lead with 3 minutes left to play. Marist's final opportunity to send it into overtime with 1 minute left fell short, giving Marist their 4th loss of the season just before the start of MAC play.
The Red Foxes finished the regular season off against the Purple Eagles of Niagara in the McCann Arena. Early in the first, Jamie Sherburne knocks down the 3 ball to start off the dominant scoring. Niagara 3, Marist 0. Late in the second half, Alana Glamour spins through the paint with a nice jumper. Cha-ching, Niagara 34, Marist 28. In the third quarter, the Red Foxes catch rhythm as Willow Duffel lays the ball up with the assist from Vanderwhite. Niagara 39, Marist 34. Despite a late surge, the Red Foxes couldn't overcome the early deficit. Gilmer finishes with 20, but the Purple Eagles win at 68-61.
We wrap up our show at Tenney Stadium as the Marist Club rugby team takes on Molloy College from Long Island. It was a defensive face-off that ended with only a few tries, but a whole lot of trucking. We see this rumble and stumble by junior Chris Massatello to set up Marist's second try of the day, scored by John Abramson. Marist's game plan to use their sheer size inside to earn the win.
Oh, it was intense, man. It was great. So much adrenaline just going through your body and just taking those hits right to the dome. Oh, it was a great time.
The Red Foxes won 35-14 with the help of those first game jitters. That's going to do it for this edition of our Sportscast. I'm Kyle Hamrick, and we'll see you next time on The Foxtrot.
Hello, everyone. I'm Harrison Kovacic, alongside my good friend Derek Mago, and welcome to The Foxtrot, your source for Marist sports. Today, Marist men's lacrosse looks to get their season back on track. Marist women's water polo heads to Iona, and Marist men's club rugby looks forward to their exhibition match against Molloy College. Marist men's lacrosse looked to shake off their slow 1-8 start to turn their season around when Manhattan College met them at Tenney Stadium on Saturday. We pick up the action in the first quarter. It's Manhattan's own Sean McKinney with a quick goal right in front. Manhattan up, 1-0. Just moments later, it's senior Gannon Morrison with a ripper stick side to even it up, 1-1. Morrison would find Twine again 5 minutes later, but Manhattan would tie it up again to end the first quarter of play. Marist would act as an active volcano in the third quarter. It's freshman Jason Intermasoli here with a beautiful snipe, beating goalie Michael Zingaro. Later in the third, it's Intermasoli again with another stupendous high-rising snipe. Marist leads 10-3, end of 3. Adding insult to injury, in the middle of the fourth, it's Avery Naismith with some nice off-ball positioning leading to the score. Marist goes on to take this one, 12-4.
We just came out on Saturday morning with a lot of energy. We were sharing the ball, trusting each other just to make plays, not getting too focused on the individual plays, brushing them off, but just having fun.
Marist Water Polo traveled down to Iona College this past Saturday for a doubleheader against VMI and number 18 Wagner. The Red Foxes are looking to end their 4-game losing streak from their previous trip to Los Angeles. Head coach Chris Vidal and his team took on their MAC foe VMI in the first of 2 games on Saturday. The Red Foxes came out strong as Kathleen Torina skips it across to Diana Carbaro for the first goal of the game, only about a minute in. Later in the first, it's sophomore Honest Mathis that gets free and rockets a shot into the back of the net as the Red Foxes take a 3-0 lead. But VMI was not going to roll over that easy. Shelby Barkley takes the contact and floats a shot over the keeper's head. Marist ends the first half with a 6-3 lead. To the third quarter we go. Just seconds after a VMI goal, it's Barkley again for the Keydets, forcing a turnover and going all the way and firing it past the goalie, cutting the game to a 2-goal game. The Red Foxes would answer by taking over the fourth quarter and ending up winning the game 12-8 with a balanced offensive attack. Later in the afternoon, the Red Foxes took on number 18 Wagner in their second matchup. This marks their 16th top 25 opponent of the season. Wagner came out playing intense defense, causing many turnovers for the Red Foxes. Scoring in transition is Erica Hardy off of a quick spin. Marist was held scoreless until almost a minute into the second quarter before Mathis took matters into her own hand by putting a shot into the bottom right corner. The Seahawks would answer with another Hardy goal and keep control of the rest of the game, beating the Red Foxes 13-6.
Marist Men's Club Rugby played an exhibition game this past Sunday facing off against Malloy College on the Marist turf. Their first game of 2018 is now officially in the books. Malloy was able to draw first blood with an early try by Alex Maslovelli in the first half. But wait, just when it looks like Marist has been stopped, Leahy goes Superman over the pylon to tie the game 5-5. Later in the first half, one sneaky sophomore, Jonathan Averson, is able to slither his way through the pile and turn on the gas to get the try. This puts Marist up 10-5. Malloy kept coming after Marist, but Marist kept shutting the door. Marist wins at 10-5 in regulation and dominates an extra period of play. They come out on top 35-5. That's going to do it for us on the Foxtrot with Derek Mango. Good night.